a good Tuesday afternoon to you. Welcome on in to lunch with Claibs and Joe here on ClaibsOnline.com, powered by Gray Bar and driven by Munganass St. Louis Acura and through the power of technology in 2024. I'm here in St. Louis, and Claibs, we somehow made it work where you're down in Jupiter today.
You are correct, sir. We are in Jupiter. Beautiful day for baseball here at Roger Dean. We take on the Boston Red Sox, and it's the debut of Sonny Gray. And I feel a lot of people are anxious to see him in action. And you and I have had a chance to see him throw some bullpen. So we kind of have an idea what he's all about, but he's going to be facing guys in a different looking uniform today.
Claibs, I know, are you and Matt Pauley are on the call for the game today?
No, John and Ricky have today. Matt and I have tomorrow against the Mets. And don't we have the Mets on Friday too?
Somebody.
Yeah, we're playing somebody on Friday. We'll let you know when it gets around Friday.
I mean, looking at the lineup the Red Sox sent to Jupiter today, I don't think it matters what kind of pregame work you're doing with who's there. I've never heard of a single one of these 9 guys that they have in their lineup.
Yeah, that's a good point you make, because I know we talked about that. Matt and I were talking about, there used to be a time you had to have guys with service time. I think it was at least 2 or 3 guys with service time that had to be on the travel roster. Guys just don't go. Now, they'll probably stay over here and play again tomorrow, play the Marlins or somebody else, and they'll bring over a new batch of players. But, it's really unfortunate. Fans come down here hoping to see players they recognize, and, these players don't really care.
Well, the Cardinal fans will get to see their favorites as I think we're getting a pretty decent look at what the opening day lineup might be, at least with a few of at least the top half of it. No Wilson Contreras today in the lineup, but the first.
No, Wilson is in the lineup.
Is he in the lineup today? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I missed on somebody else then. But you do get to see, what kind of that top 4 is going to be with Arenado and Goldschmidt and Nootbaar and Donovan in there.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. This is a 2025 lineup, opening day.
Okay.
When you look at the guys on this lineup now, this will look like opening day next year, because Victor Scott's going to be here. Sagasi has played well and has caught the eye of a lot of people. He'll be here, and the other guys we already know. We just got to figure out who's going to be opening day pitcher.
And, well, I mean, with the money they gave Sonny Gray, you would think that he's your opening day starter for the next 3 years.
What if you give it to Jordan Walker too? Jordan Montgomery.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, where are you breaking news here, or is Jordan Montgomery?
I know discussions are still ongoing with Montgomery and others. And I would assume the Cardinals would be talking to him. Now, the Cardinals may say, well, we have enough pitching. You never have enough, okay? If you can get the guy, maybe it's a 2-year deal with an option. He can get back out of line and go back to free agency if he so chooses. There's a lot of different ways you can play this. So we'll see. But I think as far as the guys we're rolling out there today, I think most of, if not all of, will be in the opening day lineup next year.
Yeah, the Scott Boras clients kind of is the news of spring training right now. We saw Cody Bellinger sign a 3-year deal with the Cubs over the weekend, $80 million for that, but he has opt-outs through the first 2 years of that contract. So it really is just like 3 one-year deals that he signed to stay on the north side and kind of play it to the best of his ability with that. Still, you have Jordan Montgomery out there. You have Blake Snell out there. You still have pitchers that are out there. At some point, I mean, as a player in those situations, you kind of have to be looking at your agent and saying, hey, are you going to get me a job this year or not?
Well, there's some offers being made by teams, and they're lowballing all of these guys. And that's why a lot of guys are like, to hell with it. I'm just going to sit at home until somebody really needs me. I was talking to an agent yesterday. They had a team that his guy made almost $10 million last year. Well, he did make $10 million, and they offered him $3 million.
Yeah.
So, Players Association is going to have to step in and figure this out at some point, because it's not working as we know it today.
Cardinals made another free agent signing yesterday. Kind of a few ways to look at it. Brandon Crawford, the longtime Giant shortstop.
Nobody signed anything yet.
Okay.
Let's back up on that.
All right.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but the Cardinals have not announced that they've signed anybody. Now, just to kind of create a little bit more sensation to the fire, Matt Pauley was telling me that in the clubhouse today, Ramin's number 35 was not in his locker.
Right.
So maybe that's another indicator. But I'm old school about signing. I only talk about it when it's official, as far as that element. Now, that doesn't mean I can't tell you what a good player he is and what his role could be with this team. But until they sign him to say, welcome aboard and let's throw some fireworks up in the air, let's hold off on that.
I believe the quote that Ollie said during his scrum this morning was that he couldn't talk about it right now, but he probably would be able to talk about it during the game today. I think so.
Yeah.
That's to what he might be expecting with that. So let's instead of you and I just waiting until next Monday or Tuesday to talk about it, let's look at what a role of a Brandon Crawford might mean on this team and what the opening day roster might look like when you have Matt Carpenter and now Brandon Crawford there with a lot of young players kind of maybe working their way up through the system and kind of taking away a shot at any of those guys having a opening day chance.
Well, but here's the problem. The young guys that you speak of can't help you. I mean, the shortstop audition has not gone well. I mean, none of these are capable backups, in my opinion. And they want to go out and get some insurance, not only on the fact if something were to happen to Win via injury, but also maybe from a mentoring standpoint. When you think about a guy who's won multiple Gold Gloves, he's won 3 World Series, consummate professional. He dealt with some injuries in the last couple of years, which really slowed him down. And, if he's a part-time player, that's better than a lot of teams back up.
Yeah, and I think that's the trend that we've seen all offseason. You are getting veterans to come in here and take control of the clubhouse for this team. And we've talked, you talked to Jordan Walker, we talked to Mason Wynn the other day. You have young guys that we see as the future of this team. Why not bring in as many veterans as possible to lead them in the right direction?
No, when you look back, the Cardinals have always had a tradition of having veterans around to help the younger guys, and we were about to be void of that. And the unfortunate thing is you had to go in other organizations to get some guys. But, at the end of the day, you want to go out and get winning players, and it looks like they try to do that for the most part. It's a work in progress, and it wasn't. And I want to make sure people understand we didn't have a bunch of rogues or a bunch of, dogs in the clubhouse. I just think from a commitment standpoint and an accountability standpoint, there were some guys who didn't understand that element. And therefore, you have guys who can come in and teach them on the fly because there's some things coaches and managers can't get to players about. Players have to get to players. This is still a player's game. And so when they step up and make their contribution, I think that really says a lot about what they see and how they can fix it.
We will take a break. Cardinals and Red Sox start up in about 40 minutes from now. That's at Roger Dean. Is this one of the televised games?
There is no TV. You can hear it on the Cardinal Radio Network, and if you're in St. Louis, you can certainly listen to it on KMOX.
All right, we will come back
and
talk.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
What is it on today, Matt?
Beginning on KMOX.
It starts on KMOX, and just keep listening. That's all I can say.
Take a break. Back more here on Lunch with Claibs and Joe, driven by Munganast St. Louis Acura and powered by these folks.
Can Graybar help my electrical and datacom jobs be more productive?
Yep. Our supply chain services are designed to do just that.
Like job site services?
Yep. We deliver the products you need where and when you need them, no matter your industry.
What if I have technical questions?
Yep. Our specialists are top-notch.
Emergency support?
Yep. Even after hours.
They're a unicorn.
When you need to keep your projects productive and profitable, rely on Graybar to help you get the job done right. No unicorns required. Yep, Graybar does that.
Back here on Lunch with Claibs and Joe, powered by Graybar, driven by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Burkhart Alton Toyota. They provided us with a very nice 2024 Highlander to take down to Jupiter. That Claibs, you and I have been driving around all of Jupiter, Florida the last few months.
Yeah, it's one of the things I'm going to tell people about with regard to this vehicle, bells and whistles, it's got everything. Sensors. I mean, you think of an SUV, you don't think of an SUV having all the things you would normally see in a luxury car, but they have just about everything you could imagine. So if you haven't had a chance to get behind the wheel of one, I would suggest you check it out. You'll be impressed with the size, the comfort, and certainly the gas mileage. So there are a lot of things good about this Highlander. So go by and check them out, or go online and check it out. Make an appointment, give them a call, go over and see them. And I guarantee you, once you get behind the wheel of one, you'll say, I should have done this well before now.
That's Munganaz Burkhardt Alton Toyota. Find them online at altontoyota.com, or you can find Munganaz St. Louis Acura online at stlouisacura.com. Other news and notes around Major League Baseball as spring training gets underway. Claibs, you and I haven't had a chance to talk about the jerseys yet, as that has been kind of the biggest headline of spring training so far. The new Fanatics Nike jerseys that have come out, and have you heard anything about any changes that might happen by opening day?
Well, I know Matt Pauly pointed out the Kansas City Royals pushed back, and they've gone back to a bigger font on the back of their jersey. I don't know how they're going to fix this mess, and it is a mess. It's embarrassing. I mean, you can't tell me that these are new age uniforms when you can look at the same one in anybody's gift shop. They messed up, and Nike and Fanatics own this. Nike contracted out to Fanatics, and Fanatics decided to go the cheap route, and nobody's happy. And I don't know how you fix it between now and opening day, but somebody needs to get on the stick and get it going.
Yeah, you have seen a lot of players at spring training who are just kind of going with the T-shirt out there in practice rather than going full uniform like all the other guys are. They're just wearing the batting practice shirts instead.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a mess. I'm sure we're not the only ones, but obviously we pay closer attention to the Cardinals. It's just poorly thought out, and that's disappointing considering that Nike's been one of the forerunners to apparel in all of sports. To get tied up in this mess is something that somebody's head should roll.
Claibs, as you training, I mean, I know you are basically locked into everything going on in Jupiter. How much do you pay attention to everything else that's going around, maybe the state of Florida or over in Arizona too?
Well, you have 3 other teams here. Other than the Marlins that you can pay attention to. I look at the box score and maybe I'll catch an occasional game on TV. But, I only try and watch 3 or 4, maybe 5 innings, because after that, when they start running guys in there wearing 93 on their back, I'm not really interested in that guy.
I know Shohei is going to make his debut with the Dodgers today, DHing, as they came out earlier and said that their opening day lineup is going to be Mookie Betts, Shohei, and Freddie Freeman, 1, 2, 3 in their order. First time, I believe, since 1983 that you have MVPs batting 1, 2, and 3 in the order. That was the 1983 Phillies.
Well, it's quite an accomplishment to be able to put those guys together. They'll be fun to watch. I don't think there's any question about that. Obviously there's a couple concern a little bit about the pitching, but you know what? They should be able to slug with a lot of teams. I think the question for them will be who's going to hit 6th, 7th, and 8th, but 7th, 8th, and 9th in their order. That's still up in the air as far as bringing the same kind of punch that you're going to have at the top of the order. And I'll tell you, the 9th spot should be very important to them, considering that guy's going to be hitting in front of the top of the order. And you want to have some people on base, so that'll be a pivotal role for the Dodgers to figure out who's going to assume that spot.
Over on the other side of Florida, when I don't know when do the Cardinals go see the Yankees this spring?
That's a good question. Let me take a look here real quick, if you don't mind. I thought I had it in front of me. I did. You have the Cardinal roster, Cardinal notes. The notes. Thank you for that, Paulie, assisting me here today. Cardinals go over to New York. I don't think we played the Yankees over there this year. No. We don't go over there this year.
You don't go over there this year? Because that's the one, I mean, that's with what they added this offseason, that's another team that their early spring training. I feel like there's less question marks around whether or not the Dodgers are going to be able to hit than maybe the Yankees, just with Aaron Judge's toe and kind of how some of their young guys are going to be coming along this year.
They're going to be a good team. They got a lot of weapons. Offensively, they can swing the bat. They have one of the best players in the game in Soto, and the rest of that order fills out fairly well. Like everybody, man, they're looking for pitching. And, I'm surprised that they haven't made a harder run at Montgomery and or Blake Snell. Bullpen is going to be good, but I still think they're short a little pitching, as they always appear to be.
It seems like right now the latest rumors had Jordan Montgomery linked to the Red Sox and Blake Snell linked to the Yankees. So we might see an old-fashioned war between those two organizations like we've seen so many times where one does something, the other one has to try to go bigger.
Yeah, I guess if I'm Montgomery, now granted, he's got a World Series ring. Why would you go to Boston? Boston's not even close to being able to compete in that division. And you're wasting some good years with a team that's not very good. So if you're going for a money grab, it better be a damn good one.
Yeah, exactly. We will take our final break here, Claibs. When we come back, a little college hoop talk, as we are just a couple days away from the month of March. And we will discuss that right here on Lunch with Claibs and Joe, powered by Gray Bar, driven by Munganess St. Louis Acura.
Are you ready for a challenging and rewarding career? There are quality jobs in the construction industry.
I got out of college and my career choices were very limited, and this provided me with a plan for the present and the future at the same time.
I actually have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I was making less than I make as a first-year apprentice painter.
I didn't go to college. I have no college debt. I make more money than the majority of people I know that went to college.
Take your first step towards a rewarding career. Visit stlouispdf.org.
Final few minutes here of Lunch with Claibs and Joe here on ClaibsOnline.com, powered by Gray Bar, driven by Munganess St. Louis Acura. Our spring training coverage that you can find at ClaibsOnline.com, updating that each and every week. Our latest interview with Mason Wynn from that we posted yesterday, timely with everything going on with him. Had a very solid debut, spring training debut on Sunday, and then the news of Brandon Crawford backing him up coming yesterday. So a lot of Mason Wynn in the news lately, and you can hear him talk about his spring training right now on ClaibsOnline.com, and all of our spring training coverage also brought to you by Fast Eddie's Bon Air, Claibs.
Fast Eddie Bon Air over in Alton, Illinois. Coldest beer, peel and eat shrimp, Fast Eddie burgers, great attitude, great atmosphere. One of the real stalwarts of our community. If you haven't been there yet, you need to get over. I know a lot of people go and play golf over in that area. Stop by, have a significance meeting for lunch, and make a day of it. If you haven't been there, got to check it out. All you have to do is be over 21 to have as good a time as everybody else seems to have when they go to Fast Eddie's. And a few other Fast Eddie announcements forthcoming. So I will keep you clued in on that as Fast Eddie continues to grow the brand, so to say.
Claibs, big news in college hoops the last couple days centers around storming the courts. As Wake Forest, when they defeated Duke the other day, they stormed the court. Their fans all run out there. And Kyle Filipowski got hurt during all of it. And now John Shire complaining about it. You have Alabama's AD has complained about storming the field or storming the court. There was an issue with Caitlin Clark earlier in the year. So now that has become kind of the big topic of discussion in college sports, with fans rushing the playing surface after an upset.
It was just a matter of time before something like this took place. And if you talk to college players who've been in this situation before, they've been assaulted. They've had issues take place with them, and nothing was done about it. Now, when you have high-profile players have it happen to them, it's a whole different story. I'm of the belief that you start running to me, you're going to get clocked, okay? Plain and simple. And we had that situation many years ago at Missouri football. Goes back to the days with Brad Smith, where a fan ran out and a player dropped his ass. And I'll never forget, Brad Smith was standing over and said, "You okay, man?" I mean, it was not a good situation. They should have banned this a long time ago. Because somebody's going to get hurt, whether it's the player or the fan. I mean, there's just too many things that can go wrong. I know the SEC is very tough on that. I think it starts at $100,000 as far as being fined. We haven't seen anybody storm a court in the state of Missouri I don't know when's the last time that happened, because none of our teams have been good enough to upset anybody. But I think overall they're going to have to do it, and they need to do it now. Don't wait until the weekend. It should be across the board. No more storming the court. If you want to celebrate, go out on the parking lot.
All right, who are your favorites as we get into March? How much attention have you been paying to college hoops?
Not much. In and out of games, but I haven't seen a full game all year. The game doesn't really intrigue me anymore.
Yeah.
With the portal and the one and dones and things of that nature, it's just not a sport you can gravitate to with any sort of consistency. So this may be one of the few tournaments I will sit out when it comes to pools and things of that nature, because I think I know enough, but I just don't really care.
Yeah. Well, who's going to take over the Cardinals the Cardinal media pool this year?
It's a good question. Somebody said the senior media person should probably take it over, because
I believe that's you.
It's not going to happen.
That was the talk last week. I believe it was Izzy that brought up that now you're the senior media member now over there.
I may be the senior guy, but the senior guy is going to use senior privilege and say, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it.
Well, Claibs, enjoy the game today as the Cardinals and the Red Sox play. When is your next day off?
I think Sunday.
Okay.
I think Sunday, but we don't know before then.
All right. As Ricky Horton makes a
Ricky Horton just came in. How about that?
Makes a cameo in the show.
Cameo appearance. That's Ricky Horton, ladies. He kind of did the Bob Hope on Johnny Carson. He just kind of walked off. We don't have thanks for the memory to play, but other than that, it's all good.
Well, that's going to do it for us today, Claibs. We released the Mason Wynn interview. We have so much more in the can that we will be letting out over the next several weeks. Sonny Gray, Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, Paul Goldschmidt, Ozzie Smith, Jordan Walker, Jason Isringhausen. So much more coming your way on Claibs Online over the next few weeks, and then Claibs, whoever else pops in to your world that you put a microphone in front of as spring training rolls on.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
He is Mike Claiborne. I'm Joe Roderick. This has been Lunch with Claibs and Joe, powered by Gray Bar, driven by Munganass St. Louis Acura here on ClaibsOnline.com.
Munganass St. Louis Acura would like to upgrade your current BEV experience. The new ZDX offers the performance that you expect from Acura, but upgrades your ownership experience with our award-winning team. Whether you're looking for a more convenient charging solution or an upgrade to a new vehicle, come in today and make a reservation for the all-electric ZDX coming soon. Munganass St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.